They go to the temple along with our 11-year-old young women.
She would be a second wife. She asked this question: would she be able to have her own house? Would she have to live with her husband and his first wife? I just told her to trust the Lord. And young women, please understand that if you dress immodestly, you are magnifying this problem by becoming pornography.
We know of youth who have jeopardized their spiritual growth by separating themselves from church teachings, such as those who are expressing little desire to be married or to have children.
They go to the temple along with our 11-year-old young women.
She would be a second wife. She asked this question: would she be able to have her own house? Would she have to live with her husband and his first wife? I just told her to trust the Lord.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. There was a Salt Lake Tribune news article last night before I went to bed, and so that was going to be included in this regular news video for you guys. This morning, the church snuck in late last night another church news about Eliza R. Snow. They tie together with the Salt Lake Tribune. It ties together with Salt Lake Tribune. Salt Lake Tribune article was about how public schools in Utah have now banned yet another book, which it's stupid, but nonetheless, it's important to know the bigger picture and the context. Thus the church news. Yeah. Guess who made the call to have it banned? The Handmaid's Tale, which became a Hulu series that just ended last year. Now, I had purchased the seasons, and in 2023 when I moved here in this apartment, and so I was able to begin watching, and in the pilot episode it got too extreme when the handmaid was being held down by the first wife and getting raped by the priesthood holder. As Onward Christian Soldiers was playing in the background, I lost it. That broke me. And I couldn't watch it for over a year, if not two. When I, again, tried to see if I could watch it, made it through, got through the first season, got through the second season. Yeah, it was tough, but it was very good. And so the final season was last year. I made sure I got it. I made sure I watched it. Wasn't sure I was going to, because we were supposed to have Armageddon and it didn't happen last year. Right, Oaks? So yeah, their failures allows me to continue to acquire knowledge on the bigger plot for the millennium of happiness and joy. But this is what it's all about, a post-apocalyptic society, the millennium. And so the church, with perfect timing, talking about the new publication of Eliza R. Snow. New book features 52 of Eliza R. Snow's best discourses. Rise Up and Speak. Selected Discourses of Eliza R. Snow is available March 3rd, 2026. From the Church Historians Press. See who was responsible for banning The Handmaid's Tale at the public schools? And then they provided an alternative. And I'm willing to bet this will be put in the public schools here in Utah. As well as on the Gospel Library app in 2027. Really? That far away? You don't know how to put it in quicker? Dear God. Amazon allows me to do it instantly. Why can't the church do it instantly? So, if you didn't know about Eliza R. Snow, Eliza Roxy Snow, born January 21st, 1804. So she's older than Joseph Smith. Died December 5th, 1887. Oh, isn't that interesting? I now have to check. Well, it might be on the, go away. It might be on that document, so that I don't have to look it up. Okay, well, it was originally approved March 22nd, 1882, but with the 1887, that's what I wanted to find out, and it doesn't have it here. It's I don't know. I didn't even think to check if I had the PDF in this file or in this device. Edmunds Tucker Act, 1887. Effective March 3rd, 1887 to November 2nd, 1878. So, in case you didn't know, what happened in 1878, Mormons? Give you a hint, official declaration number 2. And guess which came first? On September 30th, 1978, at the 148th Semi-Annual General Conference of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the following was presented by President N. Eldon Tanner, first counselor in the first presidency of the church. And I remember sitting in our stake in Southern California, putting my head on my mommy's lap, and all of a sudden, the whole audience of Southern Californians gathered together at the Stake Center to watch conference from the satellite. We're all murmuring, disturbing my sleep. Lifted up my head, saw President N. Eldon Tanner, had no clue who he was or what his name was. I just know him now in retrospect. Didn't understand what was going on, put my head right back on my mom's lap. And so you can see that the repeal of the Edmunds-Tucker Act was a condition of the church allowing blacks into the church in full fellowship, which means temple and priesthood. So, now we've got it in my files, whether I had it or not previously. You need to see the bigger picture, because there's always something there. So yes, Edmunds Tucker Act gets passed, and then Eliza R. Snow dies. So, was one of the many wives of Joseph Smith, and then Brigham Young after Smith's death. This is the official church statement. They came out with the Gospel Topics essays on spiritual wifery or polygamy, plural marriage, doesn't matter what you call it, in which it's beyond polygamy. They claim that Joseph Smith was married in 1843 to 23 different women, and then several more after. Upwards, I don't know how many. I didn't count the number. On the pretty picture that I made. I guess I could do it now. It would take some time. Or I can just make it into a pretty picture, or yeah, I plan on making it a pretty picture for you for this video, but nonetheless. In which section 132 then was justified for 1843. Check Bruce R. McConkey's chapter heading. There is no document handwritten for section 132. Doesn't exist. It just all of a sudden appeared in the 1876 Doctrine and Covenants of Brigham Young. And so the church is claiming that the particular women he was sealed to included regular women who were unmarried, included other men's wives. This is called adultery. Joseph Smith founded the church on adultery. And children as low as 14 years of age. Child, bride, rape, polygamy. And with section 119 that magically appeared in the 1844 edition of Brigham Young's Doctrine and Covenants, because there isn't an original document until some 30 years later. There it is. For tithing. That tithing now goes to the storehouse of Jesus, not for the poor. Thus, prostitution of adultery women, slut whore women, and rape child brides, all in polygamy harems. Thus, the church is so true. The original handmaids of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and Eliza R. Snow's Handmaid's Tales. So, if you want to know the truth, which Mormons don't, Eliza Roxy Snow was endowed in the Nauvoo Temple before it was dedicated on the 16th of December, 1845. When did Joseph Smith die? June 27th, 1844. Every Mormon should know that date. So Eliza didn't get endowed until the next year. And about 6 months. I'm not going to do the math in my head at the moment. So she got married to Joseph in 1843 without being endowed in the temple? So that Joseph Smith could take her through the veil and receive her underwear? Yeah, none of that was a part of Joseph's rituals. It was all Brigham's creation. Dear God, why do people fall for this? And that's what we're going to get into. Because I had a discussion with Idaho chick. She was sealed to Joseph Smith. 3rd of February. The sealer was Heber C. Kimball. The clerk was John D. Lee, Senator Lee's third great-grandfather, Mr. Snuff Raper, even a snuff raper of little girls. Yeah, that same John D. Lee. (1846). Thus by proxy, not literal history of 1843. This is their secret ledger that nobody's supposed to know about other than those involved. And guess what they also had to bring your right arm to the square, the palm forward, the fingers close together, the thumb extended, and with your arm at your neck, bringing your arm across the neck. This is the sign of the penalty for leakers and whistleblowers. Yeah, if you're an exfo or even a nevermo and you thought that the church was so false because of believing in the lie, that we need to believe those women who wrote in their journals, who spoke in discourses, who were strong women representing the church. How do you know? Well, let's reword it this way. You're a liar, and you want to spread the lie. How do you do it? Well, you got to start by lying to someone. It helps that if you repeat the lie over and over and over and over and over again until the other person believes you. Once they believe you, then you get them to share the truth of the lie to likewise tell others about the lie as if it were true, and to repeat it over and over and over again. And they tell someone, and they tell someone, and so on, and so on. Is that a shampoo commercial? It's back in the 80s. Exactly. And so pretty soon the lie becomes the common sense. And then you get people saying, that's common sense. It's common knowledge. Everybody knows that this is the case. Until somebody finds the original document and blows it all out of the water. So then what do you got to do to preserve your lie? Yeah, death penalties and compromising people. Get them involved in crime or, for religion, sin. So that you own them, to control them. You know, like the Epstein files. I saw the bank job the other day. Idaho chick said it was safe. I was a little concerned because I had just watched the first part of it before I was involved with the video that I did for you yesterday, in which I saw that he has 2 young daughters. What do you mean safe? I'm already deeply concerned with the 2 daughters in here. It's a daddy-daughter movie. I didn't know this. So at the end of the movie, words pop up on the screen informing us that this was based on the actual literal history events that occurred in Britain, the UK, in the 70s. It was an actual bank job. And so let me go over this movie for you so that you can understand the bigger picture. In the 70s, and probably even back in the 60s into the 70s, there were high-profile, powerful people in business and government especially, who were sharing the same whorehouse, brothel, you know, Regent Street, downtown Salt Lake City, or the Point of the Mountain with Orrin Porter Rockwell. He was rewarded. And the madam was obtaining photographic and financial documentation of these rich and powerful corporate leaders and government leaders. Now, she never used it for blackmail purposes. It was an insurance policy for her, to protect her in case somebody wants to lock her up. And 2 minutes of video go missing while she's in jail. And so she put them in a safe deposit box at the bank. But there was a business leader over the porn industry. Who kept a ledger, you know, the Book of the Law of Brigham Young, that the church released right before Thanksgiving of 2023. I did a 6-hour video series on it. Of all of the payments to the criminal operation of the protection racket that he was required to pay off people with, even the cops who took a cut to keep quiet and leave him alone. And that ledger also was in the safety deposit box of the very same bank. Number 3. Michael X, taking his name from Malcolm X, and again, they tell you at the end that they changed the names to conceal the true identities of who was actually involved. So you'd have to do a search as to who the real people were. But nonetheless, whether it was Michael X or if it was a specifically reworded name for the story, for the movie, I'm not going to check it at the moment. And he was a black activist, but he was extreme and abusive and cruel, to say the least. And he was able to have sex with a royal daughter. I'm sure it wasn't Fergie. She was the Epstein files. And he had photos taken of her in this compromised position. And guess where he kept them hidden? Yep, in a safety deposit box in the very same bank. Because he wanted protection as well, in case the government wanted to, oh, he's on trial. Interesting. Oh, the judge let him go. I guess it was the prosecution that let him go. Yeah, because all he has to do is say, I've got compromising material, let me go. So all of this is going on. So, am I 5 or am I 6? That was a running gag in the show. Wanted to destroy this Malcolm X, or Michael X. And so they knew they had the compromising material. He had it in the safety deposit box in the bank. But they don't want to connect the government being the ones to take it from the bank. And so they had a guy do a rogue undercover thing that he would take the fall for if everything went wrong. And he knew some people, specifically a woman who got busted for a drug charge at the airport. And she said, yeah, I know some people that can be used to do this bank heist. And so Jason Statham then enters into the picture for the bank heist because he knows the woman from way back. And comedy ensues and suspense. So yeah, this was a big scandal. So, this is what you do to protect your lie. You get people compromised to be loyal, to continue to spread the lie. And the bigger your organization gets, the more people you got to compromise, etc., etc., etc. Churches worldwide. In the criminal organization, the compromised authorities or businesses are called associates, whom you give a cut to get them compromised, or take pictures of them having sex with honeypots so that you can get them to leave your organization alone, and you can even use them to commit crimes on your behalf. So do you see what the Church of Jesus Christ of Brigham Young did? Do you need more help with this? Because you're not watching my videos. Thomas B. Marsh in 1838. After the Kirtland apostasy in 1837, Brigham Young and Heber C. Kimball joined the church in April 1832. They were the major converters of new men who were then going out on missions. This is all documented by the church. So section 84 of the Doctrine and Covenants in September of 1832, Joseph is condemning these newer missionaries converted by Brigham Young and Heber C. Kimball for lying about the Book of Mormon, Joseph Smith, and his church. They refused to stop. So section 86 in December of 1832, Joseph now calls them apostates by likening them unto tares among the wheat, lying about the Book of Mormon, about Joseph Smith, about the church. So, 1834, Sidney Rigdon suggests a name change. Vote was held, unanimous. The name of the church is now the Church of the Latter-day Saints. from originally the Church of Christ. By a vote, the name was changed. 1835, they get the Egyptian papyri. Joseph Smith acquires grammars and foreign language Bibles in Greek and Biblical Hebrew. 1836, Rabbi Sykes teaches him and some others Hebrew. Rocky Yang, that's why. For any of you who study Biblical Hebrew in Utah for grade school, I understand you get that privilege. And you know that it's Rakia from the Biblical Hebrew text, and yet Joseph clearly put Rocky Yang. That's why. His published book back then is available on the internet, PDF. You can see it in there. And then March 27th, because we just had the anniversary yesterday, or the Kirtland Temple vision, or it's actually April, sorry, Passover. Passover. So March 27th, so we still have that coming up. The Kirtland Temple is built and dedicated. So yes, on the third day of Passover, not Easter. Remember, lying about the Book of Mormon, Joseph Smith, and the church. He has his Kirtland Temple vision, not literal history, in which he gets the keys of Moses. So with the keys of Moses, he then puts out the call to gather Mormons to Zion, Kirtland, in similitude of the latter-day gathering of Zion that is supposed to take place. And so Mormons heed the call and eventually make it to Kirtland. These converts of Brigham Young and Heber C. Kimball's converts to the wrong name of the church, don't know about the Book of Mormon, and don't understand that Joseph Smith is a seer, prophet, revelator, translator with the key of the man like Moses, the Jewish Christ, and there's a temple. They thought they were Christian. They come to Kirtland and they now know they've been lied to. And so, a big uprising. The Kirtland apostasy, as the church calls it. And so, these Christians wanted to assassinate Joseph Smith and Sidney Rigdon, who had to flee Kirtland and eventually made it to Missouri. Indiana was involved in this, apparently. And so, the Christian converts of Mormons formed their own Christian religion and called it the Old Standard Church of Christ. Joseph Smith's original name, but to re-emphasize, it's Christian. No Book of Mormon, no temple, no prophet, seer, revelator, translator as a leader, especially Jewish. Ta-da! And so, 1838. Those missionaries of Brigham Young and Heber A. Kimball now lead the remaining Mormons who didn't become Christian in an exodus to Missouri. And thus, for this, we have the government document of Thomas B. Marsh's affidavit of what he witnessed and what they told him. You have to read this all the way through to see that they are telling him that Joseph said such and such. So the point we're going to focus on, rather than all of the forged documents in 1844's Brigham Young edition and 1876 Brigham Young edition, which are all exposed in here, except for the snuff rape. But the purpose of burning and destroying of the destruction company makes that very clear. that was involved. He says about his fellow members, he's the president of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles. Wait, what? He didn't get excommunicated by Joseph Smith for defending his wife's honor over milk strippings with Sidney Rigdon's wife? Yeah, George Albert Smith lied. See how many lies also are involved for the one lie that you started with? You throw a whole bunch of lies in. You forge documents. You get other people to believe all the lies. Maybe some people don't believe all the lies, but they believe certain ones. Because Orson Hyde, who also co-signed the affidavit, but knew nothing of it, he was sick and being taken care of by Sidney Rigdon. Thomas B. Marsh, sorry. Getting my names mixed up. He came back to the church and was restored by Joseph in the Quorum of the 12. But when Joseph died, he stayed with Brigham Young, came to the valley with Brigham Young as a member of the 12. So when Brigham Young, the year before he died, he apparently knew he was going to die, and therefore it was not an appendix bursting the next year. He knew he was dying. And so he knew that he had set it up for the president of the 12 apostles to succeed as the president of the church. And that would be Orson Hyde. He didn't like Orson Hyde because Orson Hyde was not happy from Brigham Young's 1851 talk about Adam fell. The man might be having brought one of his wives into the garden. And he's our Heavenly Father. Orson Hyde accepted all the other lies despite the affidavit that he co-signed, except for this one. He could not accept Adam as Heavenly Father. And they had massive arguments back and forth in private and in public at the pulpit of conference. And so Brigham Young was pissed because he couldn't be 100% loyal. He got compromised with polygamy and the other lies of the temple rituals, but not that. And so Brigham Young utilized the 1838 affidavit that he co-signed and said, Joseph Smith restored you into the Quorum of the 12 in 1839. I had already put in Willard Richards and John Taylor, because this is where section 118 is a forged document. That's 12. So Thomas remained for a season. Okay, here it is, verse 6. Let my servant John Taylor, also my servant Johnny Page, and also my servant Wilford Woodruff, and also my servant Willard Richards be appointed to fill the places of those who have fallen and be officially notified of their appointment. No. And so because in the Joseph Smith papers, you see the real story of what actually happened. And remember, John Taylor and Willard Richards were the only two people left in the room when Joseph and Hiram were shot. And so Joseph restores him and his brother William back into the Quorum of the 12. And so, and along with Orson Hyde. And so he then says, you therefore are ranked according to when you returned, not when Joseph originally put you in. So we got bumped down. John Taylor then took over his pole position. Willard Richards was already dead. And then Wilford Woodruff was ranked after John Taylor. So he then succeeded John Taylor. So that Orson Hyde would very likely not ever become the president of the church. And the church prophets say that this is inspired by Jesus so that nobody can allow the evils of man to ruin the system, because nobody desires for power. It's just, you're the last man alive as the president of the 12. Not quite. There is a power struggle still. Right, Oaks? And Hunter and others who had a short term as president until death. When we've had presidents who are unfit for office, but we keep them in. We don't put them on emeritus status, as was created for the 70. because then we can have two presidents of the church, like two popes. And so, these Danites, or these missionaries, spoiler alert, these missionaries of Thomas B. Marsh being the president are telling him that they have a company consisting of all that are considered true Mormons. This is all new stuff to Thomas B. Marsh, who's the president of the Quorum of the 12 over missionary work. He's the mission president. Notice how it's weighed down in our authority these days? And the 12 apostles are exalted? Yeah, you need to read the unpublished sermon of Joseph Smith to the 12 in 1839 when he gets out of Liberty Jail. He's not happy with them. Good thing Brigham Young, Wilford Woodruff, John Taylor, and George Albert Smith fled the country with forged licenses. These true Mormons were called Danites, the Order of Dan, the God Dan of Amos 8, verse 14. Judges. Who have taken an oath to support the leaders of the church, the heads of the church. Thomas B. Marsh is a head of the church over missionary work. And he's hearing this for the first time. In all things that they say or do, whether right or wrong. This was part of my discussion with Idaho Chick, in which Nelson, I noticed, kept being unable to quote the scriptures correctly. And I was confused. What is he doing? Manuals were getting changed with these errors. I do the videos exposing the error. They try to justify it over and over again. They don't like me. And so I'm thinking, are they doing this on purpose? Because they're compromised to Russia. Is this what they're doing? Trying to save us by getting us to go, this isn't the right church. No, it's right here in scriptures. Why? I'm out. wondering if that's what they were doing to save us from the Church of Putin. As Nelson got compromised in 2013 with honeypots. There's a P-tape! And that picture is buried somewhere. Oh my God. My videos are gems. It is really sad that the church has succeeded in shutting me up. And so, yeah. Then I saw this years later from the Joseph Smith paper, or this is the affidavit. They are compromising people. They're lying and threatening people with death, a covenant oath, just like the temple, to believe the lie and obey, to be a servant to these true Mormons who were claiming it's to support the heads of the church. Not Joseph. They are going around telling people Joseph said this, Joseph ordered this. There are others, not just Thomas B. Marsh. David Whitmer is telling Oliver Cowdery. This is a big scandal in 1838. They told me Joseph Smith changed the name of the church without a vote. They did not say that they changed the name of the church to Thomas B. Marsh, though. But Section 115 is a forged document. And so, despite this, Mormons are now put in bondage because there are many Mormons that are dissatisfied with this oath as being against moral and religious principles. This is what you need to understand, is that the extermination order of Governor Boggs, because of this, is for all Mormons. When Thomas B. Marsh makes it very clear, all Mormons are not responsible. These true Mormons, calling themselves Danites, are the ones responsible, who are the heads of this organization. There are Mormons being held hostage by them, being forced to join them to commit crimes, to cause election fraud, to keep Trump from winning the election. I mean, exactly. This was all a part of their plot in the future to overthrow the United States of America with the exact same pattern. And I again was forced to notify my president of this. Nothing is getting done to shut this criminal operation down again. Because that's why it was shut down with the Edmunds-Tucker Act. It had nothing to do with being handmaids. It was about being prostituted handmaids through tithing. And thus the perpetual immigration fund of slavery, sex slavery, child sex slavery, child prostitution, child bride polygamy. Not just regular adult polygamy and sex slavery. This is how evil these guys are. And they get you compromised. They rape men's wives. And then the women have to be sworn to secrecy. Because then they're going to be accused of being witches. That they're adulterers. Family proclamation. And so, yeah, all of them to Joseph Smith by proxy, because Joseph is dead, all are threatened with death if they don't take that oath and do whatever they say and spread the lie, whether right or wrong. Thus, Eliza Roxy Snow. She is compromised as a hostage in sex trafficking to these Danites of Brigham Young. What is bizarre is they accuse Joseph of adultery, but Brigham Young comes out in 1851, says polygamy, but you can't steal another man's wife to claim her as yours. You have to have your own polygamy. No more stealing other men's wives. No more wife swapping. No more orgy sex that they did under Joseph Smith's nose. Without him knowing. Behind his back, I guess, would be better. And so Brigham Young, now that he's got his own thing going and he's got to get Mormons to come to the valley, they don't know about any of this because they didn't come to the valley. They were the ones still scattered in the States, being converted where they are and building the church there, scattered around the world. And so the Perpetual Immigration Fund was to traffic them, to have them pay more money to Brigham Young. And so these Mormons, who were converted with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints now, that the Book of Mormon is another testament of Jesus Christ, and that Joseph Smith is the prophet of Jesus Christ, yeah, he now has to set up a religion. And so, February 6th, 1851, before they arrive, before he would give his sermon about Adam fell and brought one of his wives into the garden, and he's Heavenly Father. as governor of the territory of Utah. Files articles of incorporation, which his government for the incorporation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It never existed prior to, other than by word of mouth lying. Well established in the Joseph Smith Papers. Well established in the government documents of Utah and in the federal government, because this is how we know. Because the Edmunds-Tucker Act not only dissolved the Perpetual Immigration Fund, but also dissolved the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Amen. But it was for the state of Deseret as the governor of the territory of Utah. Thus, shh, don't tell. And so he had no intention of fleeing the country with a religion for religious persecution. It was just a kingdom. And polygamy to raise up children as fast as possible before 200 years in the future, when their next final solution plot would commence. Mexico seceded. Oops. And thus need to traffic the Mormons to the valley. And so he has to lie to them. Joseph Smith said the name. Not me. Even though he didn't put it in his Doctrine and Covenants. Oops. Until 1876. Only tithing and baptisms for the dead. Section 124 and 128 were the forged documents that Brigham Young put in 1844. Thus, temple rituals for the dead. Eliza R. Snow. Sealing by proxy to the dead Joseph Smith. When you put all the pieces of the puzzle together, you see the big con. And still to this day, they're still doing the exact same con that destroyed Joseph Smith's church and had him murdered. And they get little 18-year-olds now to go around the world and spread the lies. Getting Mormons to believe the lies by praying and getting the right feeling. When anybody who reads the documents go, wait a minute. That's why 15 million of us are disloyal. Enforced with violence, getting you compromised. Because all these men that are involved in sex trafficking, prostitution, polygamy, yeah, they went to prison too. Even though Grover Cleveland, President Cleveland, pardoned only polygamy, they still were not allowed to do it again. And thus it was repealed in 1978, after the church allowed blacks to go to the temple and receive the priesthood. thinking that the church is now a church again. No. You need to go back to the Edmunds-Tucker Act that you repealed, dumbass government. Just because it's repealed doesn't mean that all of a sudden the church is back. No. No. There is no church. It does not exist. The corporation was 1923 by Heber J. Grant. And he lies, even though nobody's going to see it other than the government agents who stamp it for approval, because they're a Mormon too now. And so in that article on corporation, those who believed they were members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that was dissolved by the Edmunds-Tucker Act, because the church lied, are no longer members in the sense of having a say over the leadership and their whole corporation. They instead are the chattel to pay the corporation. So you can see in retrospect why, and a major city yet to be determined in Russia, happened. The church is funding Armageddon to happen. Funding terrorism. Funding the cause of Armageddon. Because they don't have near enough Mormons to go to war against the United States government. So it became a financial thing now. But the forged document of the forged documents, 30 years later after Brigham Young, in July 1838, from the Joseph Smith Papers. Thus far, according to the order of the Danites, see, confirming Thomas B. Marsh, we have a company of Danites in these times to put to rights physically. You do know what physically means now? Murder, theft, rape, even snuff rape. Holding people in bondage. Benjamin Franklin Johnson, for example. We get told in seminary as little kids. Benjamin Franklin Johnson moved to Adam-on-Diamond with his family. And when they moved there, he was arrested. And a hooligan pointed a pistol or a rifle at him and said, "Deny the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints or I'm going to shoot you." And he says in his journal, "I did not deny my testimony of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints." And it misfired. It never misfires. It's a miracle of Jesus. Now, do you understand the bigger picture? He was moving to Adam-on-Diamond because of the 1838 call out by the Danites. Only the Danites were there. The Danites compromised him just like Thomas B. Marsh, David Whitmer, Oliver Cowdery, Sidney Rigdon, others. All the women who are also in the ledger. And they did it on behalf of. Physically put to rights that which is not right, and to cleanse the church. So how did they cleanse the church in 1838? After cleansing the church in 1837? Yeah, civil war in Missouri. Joseph Smith got framed and blamed and locked up in Liberty Jail, from which we get amen to the priesthood and the authority of that man. False brethren. Many are called, but few are frozen. Back in the days of scripture masteries. Of very great evils which have hitherto existed among us. They're judging. And they have judged Joseph Smith as fallen, evil. And so, yes, that's why Section 85 of the Doctrine and Covenants was put in Brigham Young's 1876 Doctrine and Covenants. Because he believes Joseph Smith is verse 8, and he is the one mighty and strong of verse 7. Oops. And even Section 103, that's why that also was put in 1876. I don't know why you put both in at the same time. That was pretty stupid. And in conjunction with that Section 117, oh my hell. Not very bright, are you, Brigham? Yeah. Here's the militant part. Consecrate by companies of 10s, commanded by their captain over 10. So when Joseph Smith writes his 1838 history of visions, verse 1, evil disposed and designing militant persons. The Danites, not Missourians. The Danites. He's talking about his own missionaries that are lying about the Book of Mormon, about Joseph Smith, and about his church. And thus why he then says Christianity is all wrong, all abominable, and all corrupt. And then talks about the Methodist preacher who denies the gifts and powers of seer, prophet, revelator, and translator. And then is telling us that they will come in the future to cause the day that shall burn as an oven. This church is the enemy. I've exposed them. And this church has shut me up. Your missionaries are gonna be slaughtered. Mormons are gonna be slaughtered as a test of your loyalty to the lie. Because that's what these Danites are all about. So thus, I have again reemerged Heber C. Kimball's attest. Financial bondage, then persecution comes next, and all true Latter-day Saints, Danites, will be tested to the limit. Many will apostatize. Yeah, over 15 million now. And others will be still not knowing what to do. Albert Pike, The Destruction of Christianity. This is the faith crisis that people go through. What do I do now? What do I do with my life? I don't know. I'm lost. Church compelled me in all things as to how to think, feel, and believe, and then do. And now I know that they're not true. Most of the apostates went back to Christianity or joined Christianity. Very few are atheists. Hedonists. Jezebels. Right, X-Molex? And even Alyssa Grenfell. She left the church over coffee or something like that. Lost her exaltation over coffee. I haven't watched that video yet. The real reason why you left. And so darkness will cover the earth, and gross darkness the minds of the people. So they caught on to the symbolism of the Book of Mormon, despite turning it literal history. The judgments, Danites, of God will be poured out on the wicked, to the extent that our elders from far and near will be called home. Armageddon. So much violence, so much collapsing of government, collapsing of economy, that the elders will be called home. Then claims that the gospel will be taken from the Christians and later carried to the Jews. Joseph Smith says, take it to both. You need to know how to identify his lies to decode what he's talking about. And so you're not going back to Independence, Missouri either. Although he does say here, as Brigham Young tells us, when you return to that place, it will be desolate. Everybody will be gone from Independence, Missouri. Before that day comes, the saints will be put to a test that will try the very integrity of the best of them. The pressure will become so great that the more righteous among them will cry unto the Lord day and night until deliverance comes. Jesus. And he will never come. He's not real. Remember? Christianity. First vision, verse 19. So here's the zombie apocalypse of Joseph. Then the prophet Joseph and others will make their appearance, and those who have remained faithful will be selected to return to Jackson County, Missouri, and take part in the building of that beautiful city, the New Jerusalem. Try 19 July 1840, Heber. So yes, Nelson and now Oaks are saying no. Utah. And yet After a while, the Christians will gather by the thousands to this place, and Salt Lake City will be classed among the wicked cities of the world. Yeah. Mission accomplished. In a spirit of speculation, that's the financial thing, and extravagance will take possession of the saints and result in financial bondage. Indebtedness, which is exactly how they crashed Joseph Smith's Kirtland Safety Society. Took out loans and didn't pay them back. So you can see how he's talking about the future plans to increase debt to crash the economy. We're so close to 39 trillion. So close. So close. Okay? So no, this is not true about Eliza R. Snow. She's the second Relief Society president? No. What's the date, women? They put December, no day, 1866. When was the Nauvoo Temple up and running without dedication? When Eliza R. Snow was then sealed to Joseph? Now do you see? She's not the first or the second wife. She's down the list a ways. But maybe in 66 she was the only one alive, or the oldest one alive, or the more ranked order one alive. I'd have to do some research on that. There's a lot of names, but yeah, he chose her because she was also his wife, despite being sealed to Joseph by proxy. You see the evil of Brigham Young yet? Ex-foes? Mormons will never see it. They'll want to murder me, just like the Danites. Public execution, says Mike Lee. 20 years later, and Brigham Young finally says, I think the women should have a Relief Society. What do you think about that harem polygamous wife, Eliza R. Snow? I think that would be a great idea. Church is so true. Praise Jesus. No. She had been loyal to the compromising of her bondage. And thus Zena was next. Zena, Brigham Young really liked her. He gave her priesthood so that she could perform priesthood blessings on other women, to wash and anoint their bodies and give them a blessing, while he and his 12 watched the washing and anointing of other women's bodies by Zena. Anybody old enough to remember how the washing and anointings were originally done? Naked. Exactly. The sexual deviance of this church. And that's why they blacklist you for porn sites, social media, so they can compromise you. That's why I warned you, LGBTQ. Don't fall for it. And you fell for it. And now it's already begun to be used against you with your changed IDs and birth certificates and marriage certificates. You've been compromised to be destroyed if you refuse to be loyal. So, 2020's test run that Oaks got leaked for. I was the man like Moses. Nobody knew what it was. Let Mormons go. Send the missionaries home. And yes, I went over a test. Did it again last year. Because Oaks got leaked November 2024 from 2020 in March after I just served the church. And said the church is only going to be running a test now, that this is not it as it was intended to be for 200 years. They chose instead to run a test. So everything that happened was because of the church who caused it. And they were doing it to see if Mormons would be loyal. So Nelson came out in the April conference Saturday evening session. It's done something like this. I don't know. I don't have the gift. And Shanghai. And I think the United Arab Emirates was also in 2020. If I remember correctly. You know. I woke up 30 minutes after Idaho chick said she woke up. When I finally got to her email. Oh man, what is it with today and people waking up early? I checked the church news. It was just Eliza R. Snow that was added. Oh, dear God. So, yep, your missionaries are being used to see if the parents are going to be loyal. As you get word that your missionaries are in a country at war, as the church tells you to trust in the Lord, will you be loyal? Will you be loyal with all of their lies at conferences? To believe the lies and the changes in the manuals? Will you be loyal when they ask you to give up your daughters, give up your wife to the leaders of the church? Will you be loyal to settle for being a slave to build the kingdom? Will you be loyal to stay where you are around the world with the promise of becoming a leader in that part of the world to overthrow the government, to compromise other survivors to the church, to hold the whole world in bondage to the new religious world order? Gilead. of The Handmaid's Tale. $15 million of you. They will physically put you to rights. It's coming, if it hasn't already, like it has for me repeatedly. So, to wrap it up, the cost to bring the missionaries home is now increasing. The cost to gather Mormons to Zion is increasing. Stock market began to collapse yesterday. Here's another day for the stock market. U.S. embassies are now under attack. UAE oil facility was bombed by Iran. So another oil facility out of the equation, even though all shipping of oil is also frozen, along with all shipping altogether. Gas prices are thus going up. Spain denied the U.S. from using their ports, so Trump has canceled all trade with Spain, physically putting them to rights. More Utah deaths of a 15-year-old girl this time. We're now up to 14 countries that are now at war, from 11 that originally was the other day. All because of the church, who set it all up, who paid the Judas price to get the people to do it. They're involved in the Epstein files so that they know who's compromised. They're part of the secret combination, as the secret combination of the secret combination, who's telling Trump everything what he should do. Because Trump is compromised too, remember? We're in deep trouble here. And yet there are Mormons who think that being evil for the church not only makes the church true, but that they'll be rewarded by the devil for their loyalty. The devil never supports his own. He already chooses his loyalists. He chose Gilbert, not you. Amen. Or shall we say, brethren and sistren, adieu?